Hi everyone, it's Leanne from the Narwhal Design Studio. In today's video, I'm going to cover two things. First, for anyone who is new to digital journaling or planning, I'm going to give an overview of how to get started with GoodNotes. And secondly, for those who are interested in or already purchased my Sweet Spot digital journal and planner, I'm going to give you a step-by-step walkthrough of each section. So a link to the Sweet Spot digital journal planner and my shop are listed below in the description. Please don't be afraid to reach out with any questions. I'm more than happy to help. Before I get started, I did want to mention that this journal is best used in portrait mode. I know some planners are created in landscape mode, but I prefer to see the page as big as possible. So that being said, I am recording this video in landscape mode since it just doesn't look as good in video format when you have a vertical video. So okay, onwards. So the first thing is we are going to show you how to import your planner and the GoodNotes optimized sticker book if you have one into GoodNotes. So let me just pop back out here. Okay, so this is GoodNotes when you log in. And what you're going to do is, if you see right here, it says new, you're going to go ahead and click new, and then you're going to go ahead and click import, which is right here. And when you click import, it's going to go ahead and open your files folder, or, you can navigate to wherever you had saved your file and go ahead and open it. I already have it here, so I'm going to go ahead and open the demo. If you have a MacBook, I also recommend you download the GoodNotes app on your MacBook. And if you download the journal in GoodNotes optimized file, or even PNG stickers, if that's what you have, onto your MacBook, you can also just go ahead and drag it into the GoodNotes app while it's open. It'll automatically appear here on your iPad as well, right here. Okay, so one other thing I did want to mention is I do prefer using GoodNotes optimized sticker books. You'll see mine is right here. This is a sticker book. Not all journals and planners come with that, but it's fantastic if it does, because it comes all organized and you don't need to go searching through your photo album for them. Now, if you do have PNG stickers or you prefer them, I do recommend that you create a photo album for them, just so that you're not scrolling through hundreds and thousands of photos just to grab as digital stickers when you actually need them for journaling or for planning. So I recommend is, if you are in the photo app, oh, that's my son, sorry about that. So you go back to your albums, and at the top here, you'll see this little plus sign. You can click that and you're going to click new album. You're going to go ahead and name it whatever you want. And then once you have the new album created, like I have here, a digital stickers folder, you can go ahead and go into that folder and add all your digital stickers. So that way it's just easier for you to be able to grab the stickers when you want to use them in your planner. Okay, so let's go back to GoodNotes here and back to the journal. Okay, so I'm going to show you a quick walkthrough about how to navigate your journal and your planner. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see if I have my highlighter up so I can show you. Okay, so in the top right hand corner here, you'll see the little kind of edit pen mode. If you click on that, you'll see like a bunch of editing tools pop up. We're going to walk through that in 1 minute, but in order to navigate this journal, all of these tabs are clickable hyperlinks. And so in order to use those, you have to be out of the edit mode. So when you click that, you'll see here that you can click on any of these tabs. So along the top, you'll see the planner, which is all the different months. So if you pop into January, it will show you January. If you click on February, we'll go to February. Along the right-hand side here, you'll see journal, priorities, connection, habits, finances, lists, notes, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to walk through each of the sections so that I can explain how to best use them. The 1, 2, 3 are just little sections that I have made for you to be able to customize your planner yourself. So if you go look at the very bottom here, you see index, blanks, and instructions. If you click on the index tab, you'll see that there is, let me pop this so I can show you, in the 1, 2, 3, these are blanks. So you can fill them up however you want. I went ahead and just filled in fitness, recipes, and passwords as an example, but that's not, what you have to use them for. You can use them for whatever you want. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick rundown of when you are in edit mode. So when you're in edit mode, the first tool here, I'm going to show you right up here, is the zoom tool. So you can pinch using your fingers for zoom in and zoom out, but this little tool is going to be useful for if you want to see something specific. So you can, oh, let me turn off my little, there. Okay, so if you move this little square, it will go to a specific place and it'll zoom up. So it's kind of like another little window here for you to take a look at, if that's useful for you. And then the second tool here at the top is the pen tool. So with the pen tool, you have different options. So let me just highlight. That's the pen tool right there. That's going to be your Apple Pencil. And if you look in here under these options, you'll see you have the choice between using a fountain pen, a ball pen, a brush pen, the different pressure sensitivities, and then there's a number of different settings if you want to customize it for yourself. But on the right-hand side here, that when you click the pen, they'll pop up, is you'll see the last 3 colors that you picked, but you can also pick a custom color. You can pick any of these presets, or you can pick a custom one, like if you have a particular hex code that you want to use, you can do that too. And you can also add it to your presets so that you can always use it over and over again. And then right here on the right hand side, you'll also see the different weights that you can change the weight of your pen. Okay, so the next one is the eraser. Well, actually, let me just take you to a blank page so that you can see kind of how these work. So if we go to the, I have to be out of edit mode. Okay, so we pop to the blank page. Let's go to aligned page. And now let's write a little note and just write, you know, hello. And with the eraser tool, you can erase. Oops. Oh, it's because I had left it in erase highlighter mode. Sorry about that. So you can erase that. And so I'll show you the erase highlighter mode in 1 second. So let's say you wrote a couple other notes like hello, bye. And when we get to the highlighter mode, which is the next one right after the eraser, let me just show you that. So you can choose, with the highlighter, you can choose the different colors as well. And you can also choose these different weights. So let's say I highlighted this, and then the next one I decided I wanted to highlight it in blue, and then I said, oh, actually I prefer the yellow, not the blue. When you go to eraser, you can actually tap it and, you know, you can clear the entire page. Or for example, here on the second line, it says erase highlighter only. You can actually just erase the highlighter versus erasing the whole word. So if I didn't have that only, so here I might erase this, I would erase the entire everything that I had added. And if I click on erase clear page, it would erase the entire thing, which is awesome. Okay, and then the next tool up here is the shapes tool. Now with the shapes tool, what's awesome about it is you can choose the color that you want. So like, let's say we want a green one, and you draw a semi-square. It actually straightens it out and it makes a perfect square for you, which is awesome. So you can actually choose, you know, what kind of color you want again, and then if you want the line to be thinner or thicker as well. So this is very thin. Oh, I didn't attach that. That didn't work. So let's undo. I'll show you how to undo in 1 second. So there we go. Then that makes a perfect little square. So if you wanted to highlight that way, you could also do that. The next tool right after the shapes tool is the lasso tool. So if you click on the lasso tool right here, you can use it to select anything you've added to the page besides the actual journal page, or any of the planners, because it's actually the PDF. So anything you write with the pen, anything that you type with the text tool, we'll look at the type tool in 1 second. If you add an image, if you add a sticker, if you draw anything, these little squares the square and the rectangle that we just made, you can select that. So in order to select it, what you're going to do is you're going to create a little circle inside of it. And with that, you can tap and hold inside the circle, and a bunch of different options will pop up. So you'll see here, take screenshot, resize, color, convert, cut, copy, delete. Any of those are options that you can use. So if I said copy, I could just press and hold here and then click paste, and it will paste the same exact square again. Okay, so we'll cover that again when we get into the digital stickers. But the next tool here, I just want to highlight it so you guys know where I am. Right up here is the images tool. So when you click on that, you'll see all of a sudden on the right-hand side here, all your last images that you have in your photo album will pop up here. So you can definitely pull any of those if you want. But if you click on the photo again, that tool again, you'll see that it pops open your albums. So you can actually choose albums and say, I want, recent, or if you want the sticker book, you can pick the sticker book from here. We'll look at that in one moment. Okay, so the next one here is the camera. Obviously, that's just if you want to take a picture with your iPad and go ahead and import that in there, you can. The next one in here is the text tool. So with the text tool, this is an option if you wanted to type, but you didn't want to use your pen or something like that. You can actually choose different fonts, like, if you said you wanted Courier and you wanted it really big, and you could actually, if you have your pencil set up that way, you can start typing, writing, and it'll write it there for you, or you can also type here with the keyboard and just put, by. And what's great about this is with this tool, you can change the alignment, you can change the color, you can change the background if you want it to have a different color. And then also what you can even do is you can save this as a default. So if you really like this font and this size, you can save it as a default so that it will always default to this. Otherwise, it defaults to its own system fonts. Okay. So the last thing I did want to mention is for different hand gestures. I think I had shown you guys that before. They're pretty the standard ones, but if you use two fingers and you double click, it'll just undo the last set that you had. And then in order to redo or undo, you can also use finger swiping. So 3 fingers swipe to the right is redo. So you'll see that just popped up the words again. And if you want to do undo again, you can also do 3 finger swipe to the left. Okay. Okay, so next what I want to do is I want to explain a little bit about the GoodNotes optimized sticker book. Now this again only works if the planner or journal that you have comes with an optimized sticker book. It does take a lot of time for the creator to create that because they have to import one by one each little sticker because they can't import them all at once and then reorganize them onto the page for you. But it's nice because it's already imported and organized, and then you only need to copy and paste. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. And then if you don't have that, I'm also going to show you how to do it if you are using PNGs. So for example, this is the sticker book. So let's say that you want, one of these, let's see here, like this one here at the bottom. So make sure you pick the lasso tool, you draw a little circle inside of it, and then you hold it in the middle, and all these options will pop up. You're going to go ahead and put copy, and you go to the page that you want. So I'm just in this blank page already, so I'm going to go ahead and just hold it and click paste. And once you're here, okay, my lasso tool unselected it. So make sure it's selected, and you can choose to resize it, however way you want on here. You can place it wherever you want. I'll just zoom in so you can take a look here. And voila, it's already here. So you can start taking notes on here if you want. We can, I don't know why that's in green, but we can put, black or pink or whatever you want. And you just put hello or whatever notes you want in here. Okay, so you can also grab, a different sticker one if you want. So let's go to, let's do the little party hat. So just copy, hold, and then paste. So again, these stickers, you can put them wherever you want. These little circle icon ones are great for the calendar if you wanted to mark when you have a party or you have a dentist appointment or a doctor's appointment or anything like that. Okay, so you guys saw how we use digital stickers from the GoodNotes optimized sticker book. I'm just going to show you really quickly how to do it if you only have PNG stickers or you prefer that way. So One way to do it is you can click the photos icon and you can choose any of the pictures that are in your recents right up here in the bar, or you can also tap the image and you can choose, any of your pictures that you have in here, or you can select albums. And if you have organized it like I suggested in the digital stickers tab, you can, plop one in from there. So if you select it, you can, oops, let me turn this off. You can shrink it like this, move it wherever you want. Or another option to do it is if you're going to be importing multiple stickers at one time, what I suggest is if you pull up your dock, if you hold the photo albums icon, you can pull it up here so that it kind of forms this rectangle, and then you can release it. So you have to make sure that it's in your dock. If it's not in your dock, you won't be able to do this. Make sure you put it in your dock. Either it's your recent item that you have been using, or you pull it into your dock to use. So if you pop it up right here, it's my son, you can click albums, and then you can click digital stickers. And then from here, there's multiple ways to do it. The easiest is if you, from the screen where you can see, all your stickers, you can grab one. Like, let's say I want the washi stickers. You can literally hold it while it's selected, grab it and pull it in, drag it in and drop it. And then you'll have it there, and you can resize it how you want. Or if you want, and you popped into it, from here you can't actually hold and grab it and pull it anywhere, because now it's in this mode where you're flipping through the pictures. But you can still, from this particular image, just like any other image, you could tap this little icon in the bottom left, and you can put copy photo. You can click on the page, hold it, and then grab and push paste, and then there you have it. So there's a couple ways to do it. I think it's easiest is if you are in the mode where you can see all your stickers and just kind of hold and grab and drag and drop onto here, especially if you're going to grab a bunch of different stickers, for example. Especially if you're going to be using this in your calendar and putting a bunch of little icons on. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. That's just showing you how to use digital stickers. Next, let's do our walkthrough of how to use the planner. Here we are. You'll see already what we had talked about before. Along the top and along the side and on the bottom, you have tons of tabs, and you can always reach any of these things through those various tabs. So you can see the index, the blanks, and the instructions at the bottom. To the top is the planner, and then the right-hand side is all the different journal sections. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop over to the instructions tab. You'll see here. So on the instructions tab, you'll also always have these 3 links right here in the middle of the page. It has the instructions and tutorials link. So that will also, that will always link you to the PDF instructions, and then the YouTube video tutorial that you're watching now. The second one is the Browse My Shop. So if you want to take a look at any other digital goodies. And then the third one is just to learn more about a online course I have to help you take the next step beyond journaling, to really help you define success, happiness, joy on your own terms. So you could definitely click on that to learn a little bit more about that. On the index page, I did want to mention again, all of these are already tabs along the top, the right-hand side, or the bottom. But this is just another way for you to quickly tap on or access all the different sections if you find this easier for you. And also because of the 1, 2, 3 I was talking about earlier, you see that you can label it however way you want. If for some reason you forget what 1, 2, 3 tab stands for, you can always go back here and take a look. Okay, so now let's start looking at the different sections. So the first area we want to look at is the planner. So from the index, you'll see here in the top right-hand side, the top tab, it says planner. So if you tap on that, you'll get to the planner. And you'll see that in the index for the planner, you have a yearly overview, and then you have all the various months. All of these various months can be accessed, again, by the top 12 tabs there, the blue greenish ones. And then there is a yearly overview, which I put here at the top. If you tap on that, it will take you to this yearly overview if you want to take a look This is undated. Again, I think I forgot to mention that at the beginning. You can reuse this planner as many times as you want, which is great. The month tabs are across the top. So, for example, if you looked at March, if you tapped on it, you can again reuse this for as many times as you want. You just plop in the dates as it fits for the particular year. And what I did want to notate here is, let me pull up my little mouse cursor so you can see. These things that say week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and week 5, these are all hyperlinked to a specific page. So if you tap on week 1, it'll bring you over to week 1. And if you tap back to March, you can skip to various ones. You can go to week 4 and it'll bring you to week 4. These are laid out right after the month. So if you prefer to just like flip the page, you can do that too. So for example, if you're in March and you want to look at week 1, you can just flip to the next page and it's here. You can just put in the dates of the week for that particular week. And then the next thing that I want to talk about is now the journal sections. So along the right-hand side here, let me just pop this up so you can see. Along the right-hand side here, you'll see the first section here is the journal. So in the journal, you have an index. It will show you the different sections. So you have daily journal, you have the photo entry, and then you have reflections page. Every single section on the right-hand side here will have a reflections review page for you, and I'll walk you through those in 1 second. Okay, so this is what the daily journal entry is going to look like on a day-to-day basis. So what you'll have here is the affirmations section. So that is right here at the top. It says affirmations. And what's great is you have a little button here that says affirmations inspiration. What's great about that is if you click on it, it will take you to this page where I give an explanation about how to use this journal. It has a PDF file so that you can walk through how to choose a note-taking app, how to upload the journal into GoodNotes, what are digital stickers, how to use them, kind of like the stuff that we've been walking through. You'll see the YouTube video, and then here, the affirmations inspiration. This is kind of some ones I've used myself, ones I feel like are very powerful. So if you don't have any ideas for yourself about the affirmations that you want to use, you can definitely use this as inspiration. Okay, so going back to the daily journal, the area here at the bottom is reflections. So these are just prompts along the outside here. You'll see it says I prioritized me by I said no to, I treated myself to, I struggled with, I'm stronger because, I'm grateful for, this made me smile, laugh, I forgive myself for, celebrating my wins, I'm proud that. These are just prompts. Sometimes I think it's hard to think of what to write. I've tried a lot of different things before, unstructured, more structured daily gratitude apps where I've written 3 things that I'm grateful for every single day. For that grateful app, I really enjoyed it, but after some time I just felt I was starting to get really repetitive on some days, and I didn't want the ones I listed over and over again to become devalued. So I decided that I think it's important that we can use this on a consistent basis, but to allow the opportunity to write something else. So this section was made to reflect that. So don't get me wrong, I know in practice consistent gratitude is important, as is meditation, exercise, etc. But I don't want us to feel guilty when we miss a day. So we are human and imperfect. And so if we have like a great day and just want to focus on wins that day, or I had a bad day and I just want to document my thoughts or my struggles, I think the important thing is that we are actually stopping and spending 10 to 15 minutes a day on ourselves to set our intentions and really reflect on what we are doing and whether or not it's serving us and where we want to go. I definitely think that being grateful for whatever you had that happened that day is really important. So go ahead, write what you're grateful for. But if you wanted to write about something else, I think that that's okay too. So that leads me to the next piece here. At the very top, you'll see it says, what would make today great? I didn't list this as priorities or define this as like work or personal, because as a working mom myself, why is it that we have to choose, right? That like, why does work priorities or other priorities have to be more important than others? Like, why can't we just really celebrate and feel accomplished for the day if we just did 3 things that would make us feel good, right? I'm sure you have tons of task apps and other project management for work. You probably have to-do lists for shopping and, you know, groceries and presents and taking kids to extracurriculars. And I do have a sticker that's a Post-it note for using for to-dos if you'd like to do that as well. But literally here, I want you to write what would make you feel good at the end of the day. So on top of all the responsibilities and obligations that you have, it would be a really good day if you got to do X thing. So for me, one of the things recently that I'm really into is like, hey, I'd like to practice playing the guitar today. Or I really want to read, you know, or that I would be really happy if I was able to read a chapter in a book just for myself today. Or if, you know, one of your new big things that you want to focus on right now is your children, hey, it would make me feel really great if I spent 30 minutes screen-free with my child today. So, you know, whatever it is that you want to put there, you want to be able to get to the end of the day and say, hey, I feel good about today because I did these 3 things. So, and quick shameless plug here, if you want to dig deeper and learn more about defining your happiness, joy, and success, I had mentioned it earlier, so that you can write better affirmations, have better reflections, and set priorities. You can definitely check out my online course. The link, again, is in the instructions page on the journal, and it's also listed below in the description. Okay, so there's also down here a mini tracker for water, meditation, and exercise. So again, if you want to use it, go ahead. If you don't want to, that's totally okay. I am taking requests for specific trackers and custom requests, like for fitness or you know, other requests that you might have for additional journal pages. So feel free to contact me for anything specific that you're looking for. Okay, so this journal already includes 3 copies of this page for you. And depending how you want to use the journal, you can always leave it as the first page in the section or the last page in the section to navigate to. But in the index for the journals, where it says here, Daily Journal, the first tab, if you click on that, it's always going to bring you to this first tab. I prefer to have my most recent journal entry first and then move back in time. But if you prefer to do it the other way, I recommend moving this first page to the last spots, just so that your index will always bring you to where you're going to add your latest entry. And then before I show you how you can always navigate that and change it if you want to, I just wanted to mention also up here, you'll see that it says back to journal index in the very top right-hand corner. All of my journal sections will always link you back to the index of the section. So if you tap on that, it will bring you back to this. So if you wanted to pop into a different area, now you can. So if you said, now I want to see the photo entry, you can grab that. I'll show you guys that in 1 minute. Or if you wanted to pop to the reflection section, you can. Okay, so you can always experiment easily moving the pages around using the document overview navigator. So, oops. So if you click up here, let me put the cursor for you guys to take a look at. Right up here, that little 4 squares in the top left-hand corner, if you tap that, you can also always see, oops, sorry about that. You can always see where you are in your journal, and you can always rearrange this how you want, right? So you can grab it, move it around. If you said, I want to move this one to a different section, you can. So that's just a really easy way for you to change the order of the pages if you want. It's not final. Whatever you decide, you can always change it. Okay, so now we're looking at the journal reflections page. So this has a bunch of different prompts. You're not required to use this. You can use one of the blank pages if you want to, but I highly recommend it. Again, so there's no set dates, but at a regular basis, I think you should do this exercise as a reflection. I mean, you could do it, every week, every month, whatever cadence works for you. But sometimes what we're doing no longer aligns or serves us as our priorities change. So this is kind of a quick way to skim and review your journal entries and reflect on what you're learning. Can we try something different? And so that's what this page is meant for. Okay, so now I just want to quickly show you the blanks. Again, I think I had mentioned it earlier. I designed the journal entry as a quick 10-15 minute exercise. So let me just show you that again. So, here, let's pop to journal. So when you're in your journal, this is meant to be a quick 10 to 15 minute exercise. I know that sometimes it's hard to do something daily. You don't have to do it daily, and don't beat yourself up if you don't do it daily, but it's hard and discouraging when you don't have time or you find you aren't motivated to write in-depth journal pages on a daily basis. So the journal has been created to be like very flexible. If anyone wants to write longer entries or doodle or do anything beyond this daily journal entry, you can grab a blank page in any format you want and paste it right after this journal entry. So the blanks, I'm just going to show you that section here. It has quite a few different options here. You have blank page, line page, dotted line page, grid or graph page, dotted grid page. So if you tap on any of this, it would take you to the page, and you can just copy this and then paste it wherever you want in the section that you want. Okay, so the next one is I want to explain. So back to the journal, what we had talked about is you can also do photo entry. So that's the second option here. If you click on that, I just gave this as an example. This photo entry page is typically empty, so I'm just going to show you how I did this. I just wanted you to take a look at what it looks like. This is definitely optional and complimentary, but I highly recommend using it whenever you can. It's super fun, cute, and a picture really is 1,000 words. So you would just copy this page and put it in following the journal entry for that day. So here, let me go ahead and just, oops. Let me just erase that, and now let me just erase these so I can show you how I did it. So, okay, so if you have the sticker book, you can go to the sticker book and choose the one you want, right? So if you're like, hey, I want this blue one, so select with the lasso tool, copy, go over here, hold, and then paste. And then you can resize it, whatever size you want. So that looks good. And then you can choose the picture that you want. So for me, I'm going to have to go into my albums. You see, that's the first picture right there. That's my son in the snow. And you can just resize it to fit here. And that looks great to me. Just pop it right there. So what's great about these Polaroid frames is that they are matched to the color theme of the journal. And then they've also been optimized to fit the vertical mobile size photos without needing to crop it. So the reason we made them like this is because I often snap pictures on my phone, and oftentimes these standard frames make me crop my photo, and then I just hate losing part of my picture if I framed it perfectly. If you do have a horizontal photo though, you will need to crop it so that it will fit into this frame. But if you click on it, you'll see the crop button pop up, and then you can crop your picture, how you want. I mean, obviously I wouldn't do that for this particular picture, but just showing you how you can crop it. Okay, and then you can also write, so you can write all along here if you want, snow day. Or if you wanted to type like how I have here, you can see I've typed. I can use the text tool. Or if I wanted to write directly on the Polaroid, you can do that as well. Okay, so the next section here, get out of edit mode, is priorities. So with the priorities tracker, you'll see here it's the first one, is the goal here is for us to identify why is it important to you? Why is this goal important to you? This is going to remind you why you're setting out to do this in the first place. And even more importantly, what are you willing to reprioritize to make this happen, right? This is something we often don't really talk about. We only have a finite amount of time. So prioritizing one thing means that you need to or deprioritize something else. This is super important for us to understand, and that way you can always realize hey, that's okay that I'm not spending time on, X thing because I've chosen that right now my priority is to do Y thing. You also see that there's a section right here for milestones and an area for blockers and an area for how to overcome blockers. Now, these are optional again. I do think that they're very useful. You'll see that throughout this journal, I've added very specific questions in different sections in order to help you kind of create a plan for moving forward. As an operations consultant, I specialize in building systems to help streamline and automate work and to ensure adoption of new processes and behaviors. So I recommend you use these questions if you can, these prompts, because they will help you understand the why behind what you're trying to accomplish and really help keep you on track. It also helps you identify like when there's something, a barrier, and then allows you the opportunity to say, hey, like I can't overcome these. Like, what do I have to do to overcome them? Okay, and so then next, you have 3 copies of that. You'll also have the reflections page for the priority section. So again, some prompts for these different questions. Okay, so the next section here is connection. So you'll see here, my quote here says, the relationships that are the most precious in life are often the easiest to ignore. I think this is super, super important. You'll see I have, fun, like lots of fun and inspirational quotes scattered throughout this journal. But this one's like so important, and it really explains about the reality of how important relationships and connection beyond ourselves is. So like this one says, it's not what we have in life, but who we have in our lives that matter, right? So the first tracker I have here is the relationships tracker. So again, you don't need to track every single relationship you have, just the ones you want to prioritize at this moment and why. So let's say like you've lost touch with a friend and you want to prioritize that. So whatever time period this is, if you want to do it for 6 months, 1 year, whatever it is, list that here. So let me mark this so you guys can see. So here's the name. So here's the name. You put their person's name. Then why is this relationship important to you? Again, I think that that's super important for us to list that, because sometimes we, in our day-to-day life, we forget why things are important to us and why we're prioritizing them. So here with these little check boxes, there's no specific measurement you want to use. I mean, if you want to tick them for every time you've had a coffee with them, a phone call with them, or an email. I don't know what your relationship is like with, the individual person. You can use these to track them in any way you want. The last thing I did want to mention is the reason why the why is also important is it really gives you a reminder about why you want to make time to do this. If you can't come up with a strong why you want to have a good relationship with this person, you might want to reconsider if this is truly a relationship you actually want to prioritize. Okay, so the next section is going to be the community tracker. So this one is related to purpose, connection, to feel like our lives mean something beyond ourselves. So we often yearn to feel connected, right? To feel like we've made a difference in this world. So again, this is totally optional. If you choose a specific, cause, organization, or person that you're helping, go ahead and list it here and how you're helping, right? So again, there's no specific way you need to measure this. I have some bubbles here that you can use to fill them in, like every time you volunteered, or if you want to put in one of these bubbles, like how many hours you've donated or how much money you've donated, go ahead and do that. It doesn't matter. It's pretty flexible. And then lastly, you will have another connection review reflections page here. It's just some prompt questions to help you reflect back on all your various relationship and connection trackers and allow you an opportunity to reprioritize if you want to do anything different. Okay, so now we have the habit section. So with the habits section, what I'm going to tell you is that when you get to the tracker, this tracker, if you're using in portrait mode, looks like it's going to be sideways, and you're like, how do I write this? Because if you flip it, it'll, make it all weird. What you're going to need to do with these pages is you're going to need to rotate this page. Okay, so if you click in the top right-hand corner here with the 3 dots, you'll see it pops up. It says rotate this page. You can go ahead and click that and then put clockwise 90, and then that will allow you to write in here. And then you'll see 1 through 31. So these are just daily habit trackers, but if it's not a daily habit, that's totally okay. If you're doing it once a week, you can color it in. So with the tool here, let's just put read. And if you wanted to use the highlighter, you could use that, or a pen. You could just, highlight when you've done these things. It's a little bit fat, so. And what's great is it's a real good like visual perspective for you to take a look at this stuff. So if you're like, hey, I wanted to like run every day, you know, and you highlight this in yellow, you could see like, let's say you did really well this week and then you skipped a couple days. It's a good overview so that you can see how you're doing on your habits. And then of course at the end of this section, you can also see that, you know, oh, sorry, there's another habit. You also have another reflections. But again, you don't need to color it. This is very flexible. You can do it however way you want. If you prefer to do like a checkbox or like an X because it looks neater, or if you wanted to use, you know, like pink or something else, you can do that too. Okay, it's very flexible. Okay, so the next section we're going to take a look at is the finances section. So this one is going to be a pretty good overview and then a tracker of monthly. You see you have an annual tracker, you have a spend tracker that's for every month, and then you have savings trackers, and then you have a reflections. I know that some people are interested in seeing additional finance worksheets. Like, please let me know whatever feedback you have. I'd love to create some resources that will help for you. So let's take a look at what we do have in here. So annual. This is a way for you to take a look at what your goals are for the year. So your income, your savings, your retirement, your investment, your debt payoff, donations. If you have any specific notes that you want to tap here at the bottom. And then you also have a monthly spend tracker, right? So you can put the various, categorize your totals of your spend here. And then there's also a couple empty sections here that you can write what you want it to be if they don't fall into any of these sections. And then over here on the side, what you're going to do is you're going to put your income minus your expenses, which should be all of these, and you'll have your net income here. There's also a section here for notes in case you want to add any notes. Okay, so we have a couple of those. And then the savings tracker. This is fun. I just made these little piggies because I thought they would be fun. But basically with these little piggies, what you want to be able to do is add a goal here for yourself. If you said, hey, I have a goal for, you know, my vacation. Oops. Sorry, I'm trying to grab the menu bar here. Okay, so let's say you have a vacation goal. And let's say that you wanted 1,000 for that. You could fill in 10 biggies with, you know, 100. Or you could have, you know, some with 50, some with 20. And then you could mark it however you want. If you want to, you know, X them out once you accomplish them, or if you want to color them, you can color them as well. You know, like this. Once you achieve them, you can do it however way you want. You can do it as a mixture, 10, 50, 100, 1,000, I don't know. But you can track as many goals as you want. And then at the end here, you will have another financial review reflections chart with a number of different prompts, again, optional. Okay, and then we're getting down to the end here. So lists are bucket lists. So my little quote here says, fill your life with adventures, not things, have stories to tell and not stuff to show. So a lot of the things in our life that are so fun and really make our lives enjoyable are not, you know, the to-do list and the responsibilities you have, but also like the things that you want to be doing. So I've created some trackers here for books, for movies and shows, travel and adventure, hobbies, and then just a blank list for you to fill in if you want. So the first section is books. So again, this is going to be like the habits one. If you click on the top 3 buttons over here, you could rotate the page. So that's easier for you to write in, and you can literally just type in you could type in, or you could write in a title of a book that you want here. And then the next page is going to be movies and shows to watch. So you can literally just type or write in here a movie that you want to watch in each of these different tickets. These are just fun ways to track them. Travel and adventure bucket list. So this is another way just to fill in these little areas like this globe. You could put in, I want to go to Hawaii. I want to jump out of a plane, whatever it is, you can track them all here. And then for hobbies, this is just another way of tracking things that you might be interested in trying, like gardening or playing the guitar. And then this one is a blank list. So you can keep track of anything you want here. So if you don't like the other tabs, or you just want to track your hobbies and interests in a different way, this is just a blank page that you can use to do that. Okay, and then the last section here is just notes. So again, this is just lined paper notes. If you want to replace them with any of the blanks, again, that's on the bottom tabs right there. You can click blanks and then just drag and copy whatever you want here into there. And then lastly, I think I mentioned this earlier, the 1, 2, and 3 tabs here are things that you can use for anything you want. So earlier I showed you on the index, I just put this as an example. If you wanted to track something for your fitness or your recipes or your passwords, you can definitely do that. But like for recipes, you could create a blank page. And when you're on the blank page, you could, type out what you want here, and you could put in a photo, and you can have the recipe section. Okay, so I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to chat with me on the Narwhal Design Studio website. I'll put the website link URL at the bottom in the description here of the video. We also have a chat box, a contact form, and a community form. You can also email me at hello@narwhaldesignstudio.com. I'll leave all the links at the bottom of the description here. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for watching.